In the reeds. Welcome guys! Today we have a really special video for you guys. We are out trolling in very windy conditions. It's, you know, the wind is too hard to fish on the big lakes, which we really love to do in autumn. But we are kind of forced to fish on a small stream. But we're gonna smash it today with a 32cm roach. I mean, this is actually the outro, but an outro slash intro, but yeah, we got a lot of really good fish, and this video is also packed with a lot of good trolling tips, and we explain some common mistakes that people make when they you know, go out trolling. So this video will improve your trolling game and it's also fun to watch, so check it out. Morning everyone! Today we're gonna do something different. We are still gonna troll with big baits, but it's a bit windy today, so we can't fish on the big lake. So we are gonna go on some smaller waters. The gushes are really strong. The water is too murky to use the water wolves, so yep. It's a bit tricky. But I'm out today with buddy Franz. Big savage swim baits, some tips and tricks and common mistakes for trolling. Mistakes that we see a lot of people doing, which makes their fishing less effective, and thus they catch less fish because they make these common mistakes. Meanwhile, we're gonna try and catch some of the good autumn pike, because the temperatures have finally gone down. Whew. And fishing should be on, so let's go. Missed the first one on a 32cm roach. It completely pierced the tail and pulled out the line through system. Unfortunately, first take of the day. A common mistake that we see people doing is that they start trolling with these big rubber baits and they put their drag too loose. With these big rubber baits, you need to put your drag tight. You gotta have the backbone and the force to set the hook. After you've set the hook, you can loosen up the drag and fight the fish properly. But for the hook set, you need to have a tight enough drag. You can see they can spit them out really easy. So give them no chance to spit it out. Put your drag tight, use thick braid so it doesn't break off, 0.32 or thicker, and you will maximize your hook setting. It took a while, but this is a really nice fish.
Can I shot you? Oh.
Ooh, really nice fish. Beautiful colors, by the way, on the 32cm roach. The chop seems to be in favor today. Can't have worse days than this. Super healthy fish. Let's get it back quickly and try and get another one. Look at that tail, by the way. Paravans are nowadays a commonly used tool. People don't really use them what they're actually made for, which is to spread out your lures and cover more ground or water, whatever you want to call it. So many times we see people trolling with a paravan 2 meters next to the boat, and then the other paravan maybe 6 or 7 meters next to the boat. These things are made to spread out, put more distance between you and the bait, or between the bait and the boat, so you can cover more water and thus find more fish. Using paravans, do so according to their intended use, which is to spread out, cover more water. There's no use to put them 2 meters next to the side of the boat. Then you can use a long rod and a rod holder and you would have the same effect. So if you use paravans, spread them out and cover more water. Woo! This one is on the lemon version of the 32cm roach. Oh, die is groter. It's a bit of a hassle because the treble is on the side where my hand is. And out of safety reasons, I already pinched the treble that is free into the body of the 32cm roach, because now if she starts thrashing around, the treble is fixed. If not, and I try to grab her like this, she starts to thrash around, the treble could fly into my hand. Another really nice fish, probably hits the 110 mark as well. On the lemon version of the 32 centimeter roach.
Another pike on the 32. They seem to love it today. The one on the chip. We had a few strikes on the chip and one on the lemon. I guess they're going all in on big today. Another common mistake when trolling with side planers is to have lures that run a bit too deep. If you're trolling with side planers, you don't want to reel in the side planers all the time you don't want to reel in the side planers all the time when you hit structures and get some mussels or plants on your hooks. If you just fish a little bit more up high, you will be less likely to hook into some dirt and stuff and don't have to reel in those planers all the time. And you can vary with the rod you have directly behind the boat. With a deeper lure, if that hits the structure or the plants, you can just reel in your lure, get the dirt off and try again. If you get a lot of strikes on the deeper lure, then you can move a bit deeper with the side planers as well, but you can take another track which is on the deeper edge of the water. Another common mistake is that when you're fishing with two guys in a boat, and we're trolling today with 3 rods each, is that people tend to use the same lures on both sides of the boat and even on multiple rods. If you want to find out what pike like during the day, you can start off with 6 different lures for that matter. And when you get a lot of strikes on one single lure, which is the same one all the time, then you can switch to more of these lures of the same type.
Nice. 140 centimeter trout, the lemon trout. It's the smallest of the bunch. Another tip is to fish with extra long leaders. I've rigged up this 40 centimeter trout with a 1.2 millimeter fluorocarbon trace, and then I got it attached on a leader that I got tied to my main line directly. So I almost got like more than a meter of fluorocarbon. That helps me to handle the fish. When I grab the line and I pull the fish close towards the boat to either unhook it or land it, it's much more comfortable to hold in your hands when you're fighting a fish when you have fluorocarbon compared to holding the braid in your hand and then the fish starts thrashing around and it can cut into your fingers and can cause all kinds of nasty wounds and stuff. Fluorocarbon is really great to handle a fish and to get it closer to the boat and then unhook it, especially with the smaller ones and the fish you're not netting. And the benefit of fluorocarbon is that you can really easily tell if it needs to be replaced. If there's any cuts in it, just cut it off, trim it. I use double crimps just to retie it again and then you're good to go.
Your hands were still wet from the last fish. And then my inner rod was screaming. Another one on the 32 centimeter roach, the chub collar, is what really went for it. Had a gnarly piece of wire trace in his mouth with a single hook. Oh, that was another strike.
Fuck. So, Franz already mentioned that you don't want to fish too deep because then you're gonna pick up debris from the bottom and grass and stuff. But there's another reason why you want to fish a bit more higher than the most people do. Because if you run your bait up high, more fish will be able to see it, especially on clear water. Common mistake of many people is that they want to fish close towards the bottom, while pike are hunting with their sight upwards. So for us, usually on waters that are like 5 meters deep or less than that, trolling just below the surface is more than usually trolling just below the surface is usually more than enough. If you run at deeper water, you can vary a bit with the depth, but there's no use to fish it like 9 or 10 meters in like 90% of the time. Unless it's gonna get really, really cold, then you might want to be a bit closer to the fish when they're standing towards the bottom. But in the warmer months, fish it up high towards the surface. Now, Savage Gear offers really, really good paravans. They are stable, they go out wide, the angle is good, and also they tend to not dive into wave because the foam on the top of the paravan. If you do want to have strong clips, you can put different clips on it. These are the offshore 19s, but you could also put Scotty clips on it. The original clips from Savage Gear can be a bit weak when you have high waves and heavy winds, but you can always change them to heavier duty clips. One benefit of that, besides fishing in heavy wind conditions, it also allows you to pull the grass, vegetation, or anything that has been floating in the water off the paravan.
Small one.
Frans and I were talking about it. It is kind of funny that even the smaller fish are taking the 32 centimeter moderate sink. And Frans has a 25 centimeter line through roach on it and not a single take on those. So we have fish on the 40 centimeter trout, we have fish on the 32 centimeter roach, 25. They really, really want to have those big baits today.
Another one. This 32 keeps producing. Look at the teeth. This is one gnarly fish. He was really, really strong. Another one on the 32. We were just talking about fishing the 25, which is usually the one that catches the most fish. But today, all the fish are going for the 32, even smaller fish. Wow. What a nice way to start autumn. Oh.
It's strong as hell. This is what we mentioned before. Having a long leader really makes your life a lot easier. I can just hold the fish like this. Don't need to net it because it's not a giant. I can take my time assessing the situation. How are the treble positions? What's the safe course of action? Also, when a fish starts thrashing like this, having a regular leader kind of hurts your thing. Look at how muscular this pike is. I mean, from the head to the tail, it's pure muscle. That's what you get when you fish a system that's connected to a river like this. Super nice, really, really strong river pike. Let's get her back. We talked about the drag being too loose, which is a common mistake. But another mistake that I made myself in the past as well is fishing with rods that are too light. This is a Savage Gear Custom Predator. This has a casting weight up to 240 grams, which is excellent to fish the 32 centimeter roach or 40 centimeter trout. You could also do it with a 170 gram or the Big Bait Specialist, the SG4 rod, but going lighter will decrease your hook ratio. And you know, when I first started out trolling with the original bulldogs and stuff like that, fishing with heavy rubber baits, like we mentioned before, the pike sink their teeth in it and then they get a hold on the bait and it's really hard to set the hook properly. So a good reel with a good drag on it combined with a rod that has a stiff backbone and a good casting weight above 170 gram is usually my go-to setup to fish with these heavy and big soft baits. Well, we're back into the reeds. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out Frans as well on his Instagram account at Frans van der Putten. Subscribe to the Savage Gear YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the 32 centimeter roach as well, and we really hope that the trolling tips will benefit you guys as well. So see you in the next video. See ya.